So I found all the graves that were related to Belarusian soldiers. Next time I go to Belarus or to Bryansk, I will look if we can have stories. We can find stories about these soldiers. So we found Ratynskiy, Leonid Ivanovich, born in 1903. And he died also after the liberation on the 4th of June 1945. So I am here in Rechitsa, where I went because I want to give some context about the soldiers that are buried, that have their graves in Amersfoort, in the Netherlands, who were taken prisoners here somewhere on the front, maybe in their city, in Belarus, by the Germans, and who were taken as prisoner to Germany, who died there because they were sick. And yes, there was one who's called Leonid Ivanovich Ratynskiy. He came from Rechitsa. So Rechitsa is a small city in the south of Belarus on the Dnieper, and I think he worked at plywood factory. I will go there later, but now I'm looking for, maybe his name is mentioned somewhere here. We are in the park of the liberation, the victory, the park of the victory in Rechitsa. So you see here, Rechitsa was liberated in November 1943. And let's see, here are more memorials about the war. It is a rainy day, so not really fine to be, but okay. Let's see. So here is the memorial, normally placed for the flame. Doesn't work today. And there are names, but I didn't find the names of Ratynskiy, or I think they also are confused with Katynskiy. I cannot find it here. So he was not documented on this in this memorial, although he lived or worked quite nearby. Let's see the explanation here. I will translate that at home. You see here are some names at the end that have been added later, but no, not Ratynskiy. Another historical place here nearby is there was a ghetto just next to this park, at this place. Ghetto, not really from what I read, it was more a building where the Jews were gathered, a big building or a plant that was here, and the Jews were gathered in 42 or I think 42 or 41, 42, and then sadly murdered somewhere here in Rechitsa, shot at this place or in the forest nearby. So I know it was at the angle of this street, Frunze and Sovietskaya, that there was a ghetto, but no sign about it. Nothing we can see about that tragic place here. Yes, as I said, 3,000 humans died. Why? On 25 of November 41, here in Rechitsa. So here also some remnants of the past. Here a Lenin statue, which seems pretty recent. Here we are in the factory neighborhood, the factory district of Rechitsa, and in front we have the wood plant. So it is possible that our soldier worked here. It smells a bit, maybe it's wood, or there's also some chemical plant here. To go around. But this is Rechitsa Drev I fanerny zawod, which is here. So also interesting building, and cafes or canteens, restaurants for the workers here. I will walk a bit farther there because there are interesting interesting houses which I can show. It's a smell, some chemical smell. So I will pass by near these houses, which look very nice. Big house, not very well located because of course next to the factories, but here the garden, and the factories, they are located here because it's next to the river, the Dnieper. Here some same house, same architecture, wooden architecture. Two corpus, or two houses which are joined by a central part, and there are three of those houses the same next to each other. Here again, nice building. Here you see, this is Rechitsa Drev, the wood fabric. Entrance, and I think I cannot go farther except if I work here or have a business trip. Maybe another day, another time. So it stopped raining a bit, and from here we have a wonderful view on the Dnieper. See, so we have well, the Soviet communist blocks, but also we can see there churches, the old Rechitsa summer theater, concert place where there are festivals, concerts, and the Dnieper to the north, to its source in near Smolensk, Mogilov, and the other side is direction Kiev. So yes, that plant, wood plant, it was there. Probably wood was brought from the forests here in the region by the river on boats, taken there, cut, sawn, and to make furniture, to make board. Those cities in the Soviet Union or in the East, in Eastern Europe, they have always, I love these promenades along the river, big rivers, no cars, just next to the river. Also interesting here is you can understand why the Germans, when they invaded Russia, it was easy for them, quite easy, because when you cross the river here, the higher part of the river, it's on the western side. It is easier. You always, I think almost all rivers here, the Dnieper, the Berezina, the Soj, they always have a view to the east. So you can go, you survey, you have a good view from the west to the east, and you can easily invade that part when you have an army. Coming back, so that for the Soviets it was very difficult, the Red Army, because in front there are marshes, and to take back this city, Babruisk, Zlobin, or all those cities along the Kiev, down to the south, to take back those cities, it's very difficult. It was very difficult. There's another story that's interesting to investigate here. Is there's a Dutch painter who painted a view of Rechitsa. Nobody knows him in the Netherlands, I think. His name is what was it? Westerveld? Anton? I don't remember exactly, but it was von Westerveld, and he was painter at the court of the king, I think the Polish-Lithuanian king in Vilnius, and he came here with one campaign against the Cossacks. The Cossacks, they had a fight in the 17th century with the Polish Lithuanian empire, kingdom, and so there's a nice view of Rechitsa, which I will edit in this video, which was taken maybe from the other side, because yes, when you go from the other side there's nothing, only marshes, nature. I don't think there was ever a bridge here in front of Rechitsa. It was really a strong place. Yeah, beautiful Dnieper. So in the center of Rechitsa, there's not much left from the historic buildings. There's one here, which is a nice brick building. The architecture is a bit, yeah, you can find it in Gomel, in Babruysk, in the cities around. So that's quite nice. And apart from that, we have modern buildings here. Let's see here. And a big central square with two churches there, and the older city is there called Drevny Gorod, or yeah, the older city. There was a castle, fortified place, and again here a place memorial for the war, Second World War, with a few names, Major, so these are officers. Let's see if I can find also other names. I don't think so, these seem to be only officers. Look, this house is absolutely well situated because it looks over the Dnieper. It is still some old style, old Belarusian parts of the house, and here you have the beach, the Dnieper, a little part of the river where you can swim, and below, yes, there's the riverbank for a nice walk. Well, beautiful embankments. These cities in the east of Europe. Those buildings at the end there, Soviet blocks, they are not the best architecture, bit cheap buildings, but if you live there, you have such a wonderful view. And here again a memorial, more for the Marines. Radina Mužestva Čest Slava float, Baltic float from the Baltic, from the Black Sea, Vajnem Morjakam. North float And that's the Pacific Ocean. Look, what the flag here with a star and hammer and sickle. So we have everything, even aircraft. Old aircraft, which overviews the Dnieper. Here you see the castle, then the place where there are churches, with the second wall, and the third wall for the city with people living, and here the Dnieper. We just sat here, we see this island. Also here is a map. Another map. And this is the painting from Westerveld that I told. I went to the museum when I visited Rechitsa, and there I discussed with employees, and there was a lady who was specialized in the Second World War. I asked them if they knew about the cemetery in the Netherlands, and that there were two citizens, two soldiers from Rechitsa who were buried. They didn't know, so they got very interested. They published a paper later, an article in the newspaper. That was nice. There was some confusion because they thought the family had not yet been found, although the family of Ratynskiy and of Jeremejczyk, the other soldier, have been found. I didn't find any other trace, inscription or anything about Ratynskiy when I was in Rechitsa. His name was not on the memorial, but probably normal because he was drafted in December, on the 21st December 43, while the city was liberated in November 43. So he was drafted in the 471st Rifle Regiment of the 73rd Rifle Division, and so that regiment was stationed between Rechitsa and Babruisk to attack the Germans, to kick them out of Soviet Union. Sadly, on the 19th of January, he was missing in action, so no news anymore of this soldier. Only after the war, he appeared on a list of prisoners, Soviet prisoners who died from tuberculosis in a camp, prisoner camp in Bielefeld, near Bielefeld, Germany. He died on the 4th of June 1943. His body was sent to the Netherlands, and he ended up in the cemetery of Amersfoort. His family his wife never knew what happened to him, so that was sad. We don't have a picture, we don't know exactly what is his story from before the war, during the war, when he was in captivity. So there is maybe something still to look for and to tell. Thank you for watching. In the next episodes, I will go again in detail about Rechitsa, because there was another soldier that's buried in Amersfoort, who came also from a village from Rechitsa, and there I found an inscription on a memorial. So until then, stay tuned, and I say you goodbye. Thank you.